put it up in the comments as we introduce our beautiful Rebekah Collins. How are you?
Hi. I'm good. How are you?
I'm so good. It's so good to see you again. Okay.
Here.
So I have some questions for you.
All right.
So when did you come into my world? How long ago was that?
It was about it was October. It was this past October 21.
Nice. I love it. Okay, so you found me then. What was your life like before you found me?
Well, we were in COVID mode. So I had just quit my job. That I was a teacher. I was a preschool teacher. And when COVID came, I almost immediately, I remember the day when it came, I took my children out of school, and then they canceled school the next week, and then we were in lockdown. So I was planning on going back to school that next semester, but it didn't work out that way. So I ended up having to quit my job, and I was just staying at home with my children. I found some tutoring job online, and that's what I was doing. It was only a few hours a week, and then I had ended up having a baby. I was pregnant. It was a whole bunch of stuff going on. But that's where I was. I was a new mom again for the fourth time, and I had no job. I was working tutoring. So that's kind of where I was when I found your book.
Oh, absolutely. So tell me, you spent your whole life working for the district, studying for that, going to be a teacher.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it just crumbled. That's not gotta feel good, right?
Right.
For you to spend so much time doing that.
Right. Yeah, I had taught for 5 years, and I was at a head start. I had relationships with these people and everything. But it's funny because when I quit my job, I was taking all this time trying to send a message to my boss because it was last minute, and I know how it is when they're getting ready for the new school year, and I wasn't going to be there, and I know they're always scrambling around. So I'm like, oh, how am I going to tell her this? And I told her, and then it took a long time for me to word everything perfectly, and she was just like, so you're quitting? All these words that I put into it, that's all she said. I'm like, I didn't even think about it as quitting. I just thought I can't come right now. But when she asked me, I'm like, well, yes, I guess I am. She's like, well, just bring all your stuff in and I wish you well or something like that. And I was like, geez, it kind of was like, you are just an employee, you're replaceable. And that's kind of when it kind of just fell on me wow, that was it.
Dang. So you're quitting. So she just wanted to know, do I have somebody here in the fall or not? Because I got to get apparently on the move on to go hire somebody, right?
Mm-hmm, exactly. Oh, man. So I wasn't mad. I just was like, all right, I guess I am, man.
Yeah, I get that. Okay, so then coming in, you had your new baby, which now you need to figure out how to create income on your schedule, right? You need to be in charge. So how did you find me then?
I was on Facebook, scrolling on Facebook, and the first ad I saw, it was a lady, and she was talking about starting a local preschool, and it caught my interest a little bit, but I was like, I'm not really interested because it's COVID, and I'm not trying to start a local preschool in my home at this time. So then the second time I saw it was a book, and I noticed in the little right-hand corner, here, I'll get it out. It was online. I'm like, oh, online. I'm like, oh, this looks interesting. And I'm not the person that tries everything. I really don't. But this was right up my alley. This is teaching, online. I'm like, this is exactly what I need. So I ordered the free book, paid the shipping. And I was like, I just was going to read it, though. I didn't have any intention on going any further. I was like, maybe I can get some good little nuggets out of here. And then I'll just, on the back burner, I'll keep it in mind, and I'll just see what I can learn.
Nice.
So that's kind of what happened.
Okay, but then what changed? Because obviously you joined our challenge. So what changed?
What changed was, you're really good, Joy. You put this little note in the box, and it was 7-day challenge. And I'm like, what's the 7-day challenge? I used to do Beachbody, and they always would pull me in with this challenge. I'm like, and it worked. I did Beachbody and it actually worked. I lost the weight. So I'm like, well, maybe I should try this challenge.
Okay.
So I did. I came in on a 7-day challenge. I didn't have any idea what it was leading up to. I didn't have any idea about the founding family scripture, any of that. But I was like, well, it won't hurt. So I'm going along the challenge. It's fun. We're doing all these little things. And then we kind of go a little bit deeper. And I'm like, all right. So then on the 4th day, when we start preparing our script, I'm like, oh, whoa, wait a minute. I didn't know. I didn't know we were going to be putting ourselves out there in the world. People were going to know that I was doing this challenge. That was a personal thing.
Right.
But I did. And on that day, I remember you told us to get like a profile picture. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have any pictures. My hair's not done. I was like, what am I going to do? So I got my son. He was like 8 years old. I'm like, let's go outside and take some pictures of me. And I had just had a baby. I'm like, pudgy, I'm still pudgy. But I was just like, not looking at myself. He took like 10 pictures and I came back and I'm like, oh, these are all bad. Let's go back out. He's like, Mom, I don't want to go. So anyway, So anyway, I picked a picture. I'm like, oh, well, this is what I look like now. So I'll just post this one. But anyway, I put him in a little circle and everything was just coming together nicely.
Yeah.
And I was like, when you had got us down to the part where you were like, okay, this is the big moment. You ready to press post? And you were like 1, 2, 3, and I clicked it. I'm like, oh, like it was actually like I did it with you. I was so happy that you were doing the training that way. So I pressed it and then I was waiting. So I'll stop there in case you're having a question.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. So out of nowhere, you didn't know you were going to start a preschool like literally right then, but we kind of snuck it in there. So you clicked your post. What were your results?
So when I clicked this, so this is October. And I said I was going to start in my post. I said I was going to start November 2nd. So I posted the script and I took a deep breath and then I kind of started walking around. And then probably, I don't know how long it was. It wasn't long at all. I heard my little messenger go ding, and then this girl that I knew from a long time ago, we went to a summer camp together when we were teenagers. And she was like, hey, Rebekah. And I was like, oh my gosh, she must have a daughter. She must want to sign her up. So she didn't respond for a real long time, which later I found out she worked nights, but she was just, she wanted to get her name in there. Nice. And then while I was waiting for her to respond, another friend I used to work with when I was in like probably high school, we used to work at Giant Eagle, a grocery store. She messaged me and she was telling me that she had to take her son out of school because of COVID. So that was 2 people. She ended up signing up, like she was my first one. And I was like, yes, like, oh, I got a first time. Like, I didn't even know. That's why it was so amazing to me, because I didn't even know what I was doing. When I grabbed your book and I got, I had no idea this was even about to happen. Like, I wasn't even trying to get students. I was like, I just want to see what's going to happen. And I went for it. But anyway, so she was first. Then the other one that texted me first, she messaged me back and she signed her daughter up I think it was the next day. And then my sister-in-law, she found out. She was like, sign my baby up. So she signed up. That was 3. So I posted it on Friday. The Friday I got one, Saturday I got one, and then the third one was on Sunday. And then someone else, it was all people that I knew. And it was so funny because everybody else that I had watched on your things, they were saying it was all people they didn't know. But everybody who signed up with me were people that I knew from life, some point in my life. And then the fourth one was a family friend. She signed up her son. And I was like, oh my goodness, I have 4 students and I didn't have a school.
I know. Let's pause right there really quick. So many people right now, I mean, you started this 6 months ago. This is why we're having this conversation. So many people are, maybe on the fence and they're saying, you know what, I'm going to wait for the next 6 months. I'll wait for next time, I'll wait to be ready so I can have, I'll get some money to like get ready for startup costs. Mm-hmm. Like I'll prepare. Like, why would you say that that's probably not the route to go?
Because you never, it's almost like having a baby. You know how people say when I'm ready. Like when you have the baby, you're not really prepared for it. It just happens and you kind of be motherly, so
is that literally not the truth? Like they hand you the baby, you're like, regardless if you're ready or not, like it's yours.
Right. Now I'm a mom. So you just become a preschool teacher. You have students now, so you have to be a preschool teacher. So you need to get your ducks in a row with everything else. And that's kind of what happened to me. So I just say go for it because you're never ready for like that big change. You're going into entrepreneurship, and it's totally different from everything that I've experienced. I've always worked a job. So I wouldn't say I was ready. I wasn't ready, but I am, here I am. I'm teaching.
You become ready by doing, right?
Yes, you do. Thank you for those words. That's what I needed to say.
Yeah, totally. Okay. So you got your 4 students. Did you start with 4?
I ended up getting another one, someone from church. And it was like a gap, I was kind of like, oh, I had got some interest and then it was a gap. And then I had got one more from church. So that was 5. And then I got 6. I had started with 6. It was one more. I can't even remember on the spot. But when so after I got those 6 students, I remember the training was like, you're going to start getting messages. And I was like, all right, this is the part. I don't know what to do next. So I was trying to find like the registration forms and stuff like that. And I was like, I don't have anything next. That's when I was like, either I'm going to try to do this on my own or I'm going to join Preschool All-Star. So of course me, I'm like, I'm going on Google. I'm going to find my own registration form. And I'm searching for all these things. And I'm like, oh, like, I don't know. So I'm like, let me just get Preschool All-Star. Preschool in a box. That's what I'm trying to say. Preschool in a box. So then I think that was the night, because that was the weekend. I'm trying to think how it went. But anyway, I ended up getting the Preschool in a box because I was like, I need everything in here to continue on my journey.
Yeah. That's awesome. Sorry. Okay, so you jumped into Preschool All-Stars, got your preschool in a box and everything, started your preschool classes. So let's fast forward. You've been doing this for 6 months now. Tell us where you're at right now.
Well, I eventually got up to 9 students. Right now I have 8 because one, she was having trouble because her daughter was crying a lot and stuff. So she just said she was going to wait till next semester. So she's on my waiting list. Yeah. So I have 8 students, including my daughter. So my daughter, it will be going to kindergarten. So I usually just give her my phone or she has like a little Chromebook and she'll go downstairs while I'm up here and she just logs on like she's another student. But I do tell them like, this is my daughter just so they'll know.
That's awesome.
And so, yeah, that's what I have right now. And I'm trying to enroll for the next, I have some of them that are rolling over for the next fall semester. And then I'm just trying to fill up the rest of my spots. So
that's awesome. Okay. So to conclude, you've been doing this for 6 months, right? And you are 6 months ahead than where you would have started if you didn't start, right? So why is it so important to start like right now, regardless if you're ready? Just why do you have to jump in? Why do we have to start today?
Because of the possibilities. Like and one thing I am a strong believer on, if you continue something, you will get results. The only way you don't get results is if you quit. And that is something I have learned through this and just in life. Like if you keep on going, you're going to get somewhere. You're going to eventually, like Monique yesterday, and she had waited so long and she finally got her first. I remember when she posted it in the group. And she was like, me and my daughter were jumping around. And I was like so happy for her because I had been watching her, Yes. So I just feel like you have to go for it. And you have, as long as you continue to do it, like make the start and then stay persistent at it. I think that's the only thing I can say.
100%. You are awesome. Well, thank you so much, Rebekah, for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
All right. We'll see you soon. If you loved today's episode, then you are going to love this. I want to give you a free gift in your hands. This is a copy of my book, Start Your Preschool, and I want to get it to you for free. Yes, I said for free. It is a 300-page book. It'll help you learn the step-by-step process to actually starting your local or your online preschool. Every single step that I walked myself through, as well as the thousands of women who've created their own successful preschools, have gone through the exact steps listed in this book. Not to mention, I also share 20 amazing women's stories. So you can see how not only did it work for me, but it works for amazing women just like you as well. I want to get you this free copy. Just go to freepreschoolbook.com or click the link in the description and we'll get it to you today. Again, just go to freepreschoolbook.com and we'll get it right to you.